Mr. President.
The Majority Leader.
Our bipartisan discussions are continuing to make significant headway toward another relief package for the American people. Democratic leaders, Speaker Pelosi, Leader McCarthy, and I have been working around the clock for several days now. The talks remain productive. In fact, I'm even more optimistic now than I was last night that a bipartisan bicameral framework for a major rescue package is very close at hand. Well, let's face it though, Mr. President, it doesn't help struggling Americans keep their jobs or endure unemployment or pay their rent or get vaccines any faster to keep hearing that we're having good discussions. What families across the country deserve, what they have needed and deserved for months now, is an outcome. Another targeted relief package to get more assistance into the hands as fast as possible. Struggling small businesses owners have already waited too long for a targeted second round of PPP. Laid off workers have already waited too long to have expiring programs extended. Kids, teachers, and families have already waited too long for funding to help schools reopen safely. We've already waited too long to fully fund vaccine distribution, so our scientists' historic sprint towards a safe and effective vaccine is followed up by an equally important logistical effort. This has been an unbelievably hard year for our country. We've seen normal daily life grind to a halt and take a record-setting economy right down with it. And even as we've watched doctors, nurses, and researchers make life-saving history, we've lost more than 300,000 Americans entirely too soon. Like I've said, the Senate will be right here until an agreement is passed, whenever that may be. We'll just continue voting. There are some more well-qualified nominees for important posts that we can confirm in the meantime. So let's finish our business for the American people. Now, on a completely different matter, Mr. President, I jump at any opportunity to praise my incredible staff. I'm just sorry that one natural occasion is when great people head toward the exits. Phil Maxson of Lexington, Kentucky, has mastered one of the toughest jobs on Capitol Hill. As Chief of Staff for my personal office, he oversees the operation that delivers for Kentucky families and Kentucky priorities. Here's what that role means in our tight-knit organization. It's like being the player-coach on an old baseball team, who's also a utility player at the same time. Phil wears about 10 hats each day, orchestrating a seamless operation. He's mastered policy, political strategy, messaging, constituent services. He's budgeted and managed the office itself. And Phil is also a liaison and colleague to my leadership office here in the Capitol. He's the linkage between the two sides of my operation, the single person most responsible for helping me harmonize home state priorities with my national duties and keep the Commonwealth at the center of all I do. It's a tall order. It takes the best of the best, someone who's so capable that every important issue will involve them, but so humble that situations never become about them. Enter Phil Maxson, a kind, cheerful, and unbelievably competent servant leader whom I'm convinced nobody on this planet dislikes. Phil climbed the Capitol Hill ladder the old-fashioned way. He joined my team as an intern a decade ago. Actually, I think Phil may have snuck a late application into a last-minute opening. If I'm right about that, then his good fortune was ours as well. He's done every job: legislative correspondent, legislative assistant, legislative director, and then the top spot. As one of his old bosses reminded me recently, every time a gap in the office appeared, Phil was the natural choice to fill it. It's not like he elbowed his way up. It's that circumstances and our needs kept pulling him up. He's that good. For the past decade, Phil has walked into every meeting, every markup, every normal day at the office, and every grueling, far-flung Codell, with total preparation, complete professionalism, and the score of the latest UK game. Another former supervisor of his put it this way: I don't think I ever asked Phil a single question he didn't already know the answer to or didn't find the answer within about 10 minutes. That's high praise when your portfolio ranges from U.S.-Burma relations to the bill grants that improve our roads and everything in between. It helps that Phil is a Kentucky thoroughbred through and through. The man really is dyed in the bluegrass. As a young man in Lexington, he found part-time work giving tours at Henry Clay's Ashland estate. He also graduated from Henry Clay High School. You could say the Senate was a natural destination. Here, he met UK coach Calipari, President Netanyahu, and families from Kentucky's smallest towns. And they all got exactly the same intention, enthusiasm, and warmth from Phil Maxson. He clicks with everyone. He's as affable as he is intelligent. In a town full of big egos and sharp elbows, he stands out because he doesn't try to stand out. For the better part of a decade, virtually every significant win we've notched for our Commonwealth has had Phil at its nucleus. But if you drop by the staff meeting the day after, what you'd hear is Phil explaining why everyone else deserves more credit than he does. Why it really all came down to my leadership or his peers' efforts or the hard work of the junior folks beneath him. In other words, everyone else but him. You'd have to go to everyone else to learn that Phil was the human glue that, in fact, held it all together. It'd take me all day to list every win Phil helped quarterback for our home state. The state-of-the-art chemical weapons destruction facility in Madison County, the transfer of the Rochester Dam to local ownership, a new wildlife refuge in Henderson County, environmental cleanup and health benefits for nuclear workers in Paducah, the planned construction of a new VA hospital in Louisville, freedom to fish, and the raising of Lake Cumberland, and many, many more. But alas, Mr. President, his dedication to Kentucky is so all-encompassing that he and his wife, Sarah Beth, have decided they don't want to raise their young family anywhere else. So Bea and Phil on Capitol Hill, as friends have called them, plus their two boys, Barbara and Theodore, are homeward bound. I made the same decision myself as a young man, trading in the life of a Senate staffer for a move back home. So I can't exactly fault his decision. Phil needs to spend fewer breakfasts and dinners with me and more of his own burgeoning clan. I get it, but I'm sure sorry to see him go. Phil is the kind of Senate all-star who deserves a full-dress curtain call. He deserves toast and a dinner and a big farewell party. I regret that in these bizarre pandemic times, a floor speech will have to suffice, at least for right now. So Phil, thank you for your years of dedication to the state we both love. We'll miss your brain, we'll miss your heart. You're leaving behind one heck of a fan club all throughout the United States Senate. We wish you all the best in the chapters ahead.